Hello and welcome back to my channel. This morning we're going to be working with the Hello Baby card kit. It is a card kit that features papers from the Hello Lovely paper line. I wanted to take a moment and show you what comes with the card kit. I've got some of it already portioned out, but the card kit comes with 12 card bases and 12 envelopes. So I've already got these portioned out to what we need. It comes with a Hello Baby stamp set. It comes with a full roll of ribbon. I've already used part of this, so it's open. So it's a full roll of ribbon. And it comes with enamel gems. And these, if I can get them out of the package, are the darker, lighter, and then white enamel gems. So we'll set these aside because I'll be needing them. And then the only difference between card kits and regular workshops is card kits only come with enough paper to do the actual cards. So in this kit you're going to end up with 3 sheets of B&T and 1 sheet of white. And that'll be enough to do 12 cards. So the other items that you will need are inks, blocks, scissors so that you can cut your ribbon, a stamp pad cleaner and or double scrubber and stamp pad cleaner. So what I have done here is here's the card bases, here's the envelopes, and the only thing I have done early is I have already cut my ribbon to 4 1/4, just to save a little bit of time on my end. So that's already done there. So I'll put these over. Oh, I'm sorry, you also need foam tape. So you'll be needing foam tape if you're needing to order them before the workshop. The foam tape is Z2060, and it comes with 2 rolls. It comes with a thin roll and a little bit thicker roll. And then, of course, whenever I make cards, I use score tape. But it also works well with the Tombow that's in the catalog. Okay, so here's our envelopes. I'll show you what this is in just a minute. Okay, so as always, whenever I do a card kit, now that I'm back on track, I put all of my cuts into little baggies as I'm cutting. So we've got card 4 and card 5. If you're using the cutting guide, it's going to say project 1, project 2. Okay, I'm more concerned with you seeing the bottom track than I am the top track. So I'm trying to get this into frame for you. So the first thing we're going to do is cut the zip strip off. For these particular cards, we're not going to be using them, or at least not that I know of. Okay, so our first cuts, oops, the blocks are in the way. There we go. The first cuts are going to be 5 1/2. So there's 5, there's 1/2. Oh, that'll work. Okay. Actually, your first cut's going to be 3. Because it's supposed to be 3 inches and then 5, but I'm going to do it backwards. It's okay with this particular paper. So 3, 3, 3, and 3, so there's 4. There's your 3-inch cut like you were supposed to do. 5, 6. Oops. There's that cut. Okay. So see, they all end up being the same size. I just did it backwards because I'm not finished drinking my coffee. So these are 1A, and then our next cut is going to be 1 1/4. So there's 1 1/4, and we need 2 of these cuts. That's a crooked cut. Come on, Jenny. Okay, so we need 2 of those. This is scrap. Is that the right? Uh-oh, did I do it wrong? I did. When I straightened it, I did the wrong cut. I did 1 1/2. There we go. 1 1/4. Maybe I should try and drink more coffee before I do these. Okay, so this is 1 1/4. This is going to be 5 1/4. I'm going to do 2 cuts. Okay. Same thing with this sheet. There we go. Okay. So 1A is going to go in project 4, and 2B is going to go into project 5 bag. Okay, our next cuts. Take the zip strip off. You hear a little dog in the background. My daughter just woke up and her little dog is at my door. So 1 1/4 again. So 1 1/4. By 5 1/4. This is scrap. And this is going to be, because this is still 2B, so it's going to go in the number 5 envelope that I'm using with the other 2Bs. Okay. So this cut is going to be 3 1/2. We're still using the same piece of paper we were a second ago. So 3 1/2. And we're going to do this 3 times. Okay, this little piece of scrap. Now, we're going to take this and we're just going to turn it this way. And it's going to be 4 3/4. So there's 4 3/4. So we're going to do 2 cuts. 1, 2. This is scrap. 1, 2, and then one more set of cuts. 1 and 2. And these are 2A, and 2A is going to go in number 5 bag. Our third piece of B&T. Got the zip strip off. Okay, these are going to be 4 1/4, and we need 2 cuts at 4 1/4. Okay, this is our scrap piece of paper, so you can just set that aside. We can put that back in the Hello Lovely bag with the original Hello Lovely paper. And it's a little bit more scrap. Okay, so we're going to turn it sideways and we're going to get 4 cuts at 3 inches. 1, 2, 3, and this should be 4, yep. And then we're going to get 2 out of this one at 3 inches. 1, 2. Because we're making 6 cards of each design. So 1B goes in our number 4 bag. So we're making 6 cuts of each cut. Does that make sense? Okay, so now we're on the white daisy. And it's going to be 3 inches. I'm going to do 3 cuts at 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. Set this aside for a moment. And this was a little tricky. We're going to get 2 cuts at 4 1/4. So 1, 2, and then we're going to get a cut at 3. So there's 3. This little bit's scrap. We're going to turn it around and do, that should be 3. That is 3. Okay. So this one, 1C, goes in the number 4 bag. And then 2C goes in the number 5 bag. Okay, we're still cutting. I'm just trying to get these put away as we go. So again, 4 1/4. And then 3. And this little piece of scrap. So the number 5 bag. And the number 4. Don't you fall off. You almost fell off my counter. Okay, we're doing it again. So 4 1/4. And then 3. So scrap, number 4 bag, and number 5 bag. Okay, so this last little piece off to the side here. Remember we said that was scrap, so 3 inches, and it is 3 inches. I'm just double checking. Okay. We're going to get 3 cuts at 3 inches. 1, 2, and 3. And this one's scrap. Okay, I'm back. I just had to put a few things away and gather the supplies to make the first card. We're going to make the card that is in my card 4 bag, but in your instructions it's called Project 1. The first thing I'm going to do, puppy's awake, is I'm going to adhere the ribbon to this. And I'm going to do this first, and then once we're done with this step we're going to do the stamping. And with cards I like to do assembly style, which means I do each one, all 6 of them at the same time. So puppy is up. So I've already pre-cut my ribbon at 4 1/4. You can cut yours all at once like I did, or you can measure it on your cage, and I always leave a little bit to trim so you get a straight edge. Like that. Or if you want to leave it on the roll and measure it out each time, you can. It's just a personal preference. I was just trying to save a little bit of camera time for you. Oh man, I got so used to working with shimmer trim. This is downright floppy compared to shimmer trim. Again, I left just a little bit of overhang so I could get a nice edge when I measured my ribbon. The only problem with cutting ribbon is you get the little pieces flying everywhere. We're just going to put these on. I hope the kids playing basketball next door isn't driving you crazy. It is another gorgeous day in Texas, so I've got the windows open. And it's also Sunday morning, so the neighbors are out, and the kids are playing, and the dogs are barking. And that's okay. Uh-oh, 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 lift up. That wasn't as straight as I wanted it. Okay. The only problem I see with this ribbon, and it might be that I just haven't worked with ribbon in a while because I did get so spoiled to the shimmer trim, is the edges do fray a little bit. I actually bought a ribbon cutter that seals the edges, and when you know it, about the fourth cut that I made, it broke. The little guide wire that seals the edges just broke right in half. I was devastated because it was a dream. It worked perfectly until it broke. I think I got it from scrapbook.com or something. I could have, sent it back. But I didn't. I just went, okay, lesson learned. Okay, last one, and then we'll start the stamping. Again, you can use the adhesive that we sell in the catalog for these, but for making cards, my personal preference is the score tape. I love our adhesive for general paper crafting, but I love the score tape for anything that I don't want to come back up. It's perfect for heavier embellishments, ribbon, card making. Alright, so I'm going to just set those aside. Clean my scissors off a little bit. I normally don't use these scissors for ribbon cutting. I have another pair that I use for ribbon cutting, but this ribbon's a little delicate. Okay, so we've got our 6 3x3 squares, and the first thing, pardon me, sorry, we're going to get the sea glass ink. So I'm going to set it open. We need the banners. Oh, I forgot to show you. Let me show you. I have a piece of paper down so that if I overstamp it, it doesn't get on my board. But I also have my foam mat under it. And I've taped it down so it doesn't wiggle. And you can, you know, if you feel, you can feel where it's at. So while you're working, you can find your range of foaminess. Foaminess? You can feel where the foam mat is. My daughter's going to like that one. Okay. So use just whatever block size you have. I'm going to use my, I think this is a 1x3. Squishy on my, there we go. Okay. Okay, so the first one they have, are there little bows? There are little bows. Oh, how cute. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do a quick measurement. Alright. Alright, so my foam mat is right here. I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. There we go. I'm going to ink my banner. And I'm going to pull it down just a little bit because we have bows that we need to put on. And the nice thing about what I call assembly stamping is you're not constantly changing out your stamp. You're using it for all those images, and then you clean it, and then you move on to the next image. So you're not constantly bouncing your images from stamp block to stamp block. So we're just stamping the banner. I think I need to go get my little 1x1 block because those little ribbons are tiny. Okay, so there's the banners. I'm going to pop the lid on real fast because I don't want the stamp cleaner in my pad. And again, this is the stamp cleaner that we sell. I just decant it into a different container that I can find on my desk. And again, see how the stamp is turned slightly pink? That is just a reaction between the cleaner and the acrylic. There's nothing wrong with the stamp. In fact, I actually prefer when it changes colors because one of the problems with acrylic stamps is when you drop them on the floor, you can't find them. Yeah, I think I'm going to go get my 1x1. Okay, I'm back. I just went to get my 1x2 and my 1x1. Here's those marks because I'm going to take this, let me show you, this little image right here. And these guys, especially when they're new, they like to stick to your fingers. Okay, we're going to do it this way. I'm going to put it on the block backwards. Okay, now I'm going to squish it. Alright, so see it's got it's the little dotted line. Take the lid back off. And we're going to put the dotted line along the bottom, like right here. And this is where, oh, okay, we're going to try it. Haha, that's okay, I can fix it. Try and get the little line as straight as you can. I really wish that this was a full image, because my little lines aren't going to be straight. but I think I can make it work. I'll be honest with you, sometimes I get frustrated with trying to line this stuff up. Straight lines are my nemesis. And sometimes I just leave it off. I'm like, nope, not even going to do it. And if it's something that is a problem for you, and you don't feel like putting it on the card, don't put it on the card. Don't stress yourself out. See, they're getting better. Well, I said that. There we go. Now, see, me personally, I probably would have just hand stitched this part where they're trying to simulate a stitch. And that's okay. Alright, I'm going to close that. I already have stamp cleaner on my pad, so we're going to just swipey, swipey, swipey. Put that back on. And this is where I needed my... Okay. See how tiny that little image is? It's actually a little bow. Yep. So, we're going to get our gray, our Whisper ink. And there's a bow for either side. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. There's a bow for either side, but I'm gonna do it like that. It's okay. This is gonna be one of those days that the cutting was actually the easiest portion, and the longest part's going to be the stamping. The assembly is not going to take long at all. Today is an all stamping day, so if you are a stamping person, you are in hog heaven. One more. Then we'll do the sentiment, and then there's one more element that we need to do. Okay, so let's put this little guy back. Then I'm going to get my big block because we need hello. So we're going to use the hello. Nope, not that, this. Okay. Because I want it to be as straight as possible. I'm going to use the grid. Okay. We're still using that Whisper ink. And there's hello. Guess I could move the ink and frame so you could see it. Again, when I first became a consultant, I was not interested in selling the stamps until I saw them up close and personal, played with them, and just went, holy moly, these are fantastical. If you ever get a stamp that loses its sticky, it won't stick to the block, just run it under a little bit of soapy water and let it air dry, and the sticky will come back. Sometimes I get fiber on them and the sticky doesn't want to stick. And they're just very easy to clean. Okay. So this is all that we're doing on the 3x3. There's another image that we need to be using that we're just going to get some scratch paper for. That'll work. Set your aside. I want the sorbet. Okay, so I'm going to line up my heart. Okay, this is just a scratch piece of paper. And they want second generation. So what we're going to do is we're going to ink up the heart. And this is where the scratch paper comes in handy. You're gonna press it down once and then come over to your scratch paper and press it down again. That is second generation stamping. Press it down once. And it doesn't matter with the variation. And if you're wondering, yes, we are going to be cutting these out by hand. Okay, so there's those. I'm going to clean my stamp real fast. You're wondering what the washi tape is at the top and the bottom. That is just so I try and stay in frame. The last card workshop that I did, I had to refilm because everything was out of frame. And it doesn't do you much good to watch the video if you can't see what's going on. Get off my finger. Get off my finger, thank you. Okay, so for this little heart, we're going to do first generation stamping inside the second generation stamping. Yeah, I'm on my mat. Okay. Okay. Just cleaning my stamp real fast. Putting it back on the carrier sheet. I'm going to close this before I put my hand in it. Alright, I'm going to cut one of these out, show you how it's done, and then I'm going to turn the camera off to preserve battery and cut the others out real fast. So, just very simple. Move the paper, not your scissors. Well, as I just moved my scissors. But if your scissors stay stationary and your paper moves, it's easier to cut the little heart out. And there we have a little heart. Okay, so I've got all the hearts cut out. So I'm just going to go through. I took a moment and just put adhesive on the back really quickly, so that you didn't have to sit through that part. Just going to put the little heart right there. And again, with these being hand cut, there's a little element of handmade in it. So my hearts are by no means perfect. You may be a better hand cutter than I am. Sorry, it stuck to my finger. You see how it just very nicely covers any boo-boos. And then while I was cutting the hearts, I realized I wanted to do something different with these cards, and I'll show you. If you're using the cutting guide to follow along, you'll notice the photograph there's supposed to be a bow over here, a hand-tied bow. Well, you know me and my bow skills. It's kind of like me and my ducktail skills. It doesn't work. And I was like, okay, well, I can just skip that part. No, it needs something. And this is my brain thought while I'm cutting out these little hearts. So I will show you what I came up with. But first we're going to do assembly. I'm going to pick all these up. Okay. So we've got our card base. The first piece that goes down, remember, it's the little grate, but we're going to use the back side. So this is the first piece that goes down. I'm going to turn the card this way. These cards could also be adapted. Instead of saying hello, if you have anybody in your family that is having a baby and they need thank you cards for their baby shower, you can always trade out the hello sentiment for thank you. Or the second card actually says congrats baby, so you can have a few of those on hand if you have friends that are having babies. They're really nice to have a few on hand for sending a quick card and a gift card in the card, you know, a card with a gift card inside for a new mommy. I know food cards is always a blessing when you're a new mom, or even a pedicure. You know, go to one of the local spas and get a pedicure, manicure, pedicure. Because, man, that's something new moms, you're lucky to get a shower, much less time or sometimes even money to pay for a pedicure. So sometimes, you know, if new mom is feeling stressed out, you know, just getting a random, you're doing a great job, you know, take an hour and go get a manicure and pedicure, you know. Find, you know, whether you volunteer to babysit or whether dad babysits for an hour so they can go get a little bit of mommy time. So you could always, you know, use these cards for this, or you can make up a set of cards that say thank you, so that after the baby shower you can give those to her as part of the gift, so that she has ready-made, handmade with love thank you cards. Or you can leave these just as they are, and with them just saying hello, they can be used for any occasion. So, again, we're just doing the assembly style. I know when I was a new mom, we only had one vehicle because we hadn't been married. Well, we'd been married about 2 years, but you don't have any money. You're young. You have no money. It's just one card based. Nope, that's two. So we only had one car, and very early into being parents, my husband decided that I needed Saturdays off. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was not used to staying home. I had always worked. And I was going stir crazy, the baby was going stir crazy, and he decided, okay, you need Saturdays off, or at least one Saturday a month. I mean, sometimes he would have to work Saturdays, but not very often. So my best friend would drive in, and she would disappear with me for an all-day Saturday. And my husband, he called it his time with his baby. And they would play, and they would have a great time. And I would get an alone day to be an adult, you know, to have, you know, I didn't even care if we were walking the mall, not buying a darn thing, just, you know, stop at the food court and buy a taco, you know, just to get out of the house and socialize. It was just a godsend. So even just small gestures. Small gestures go a long, long way. Okay, so we're almost done with this part. We're just laying this down in the middle. Okay, so the next one is this part. Remember these ribbons that we did? They're going to go right here, like that. So we're just going to adhere them down assembly style. See, now that we have all the stamping done, this is the fast part. Just get it down. Let me move this up some so I've got room. Let me try to knock anything off into the trash can. Actually, hold on. I'm having a bit of trouble. No, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. I was going to remove my mat from underneath. But then I realized I still need it for the next card. There we go. Perfect. Do I have the overhang? No, just a tiny bit, but not much. Okay, I'm going to set this off to the side because I'm running out of room here. Just one, just one. Yeah, the baby I'm talking about is now 20 years old and off at university. She comes home on the weekends to work the restaurant that we both work at. She's been there longer than I have. When she went away to school, I went up there and asked if they need any help. I'd been in healthcare for 25 years and had retired 4 years prior, 3.5 years, 4 years prior. And I wasn't used to not, I was just having people in my house, so I needed something to do during the day. So I went up there and said, hey, I've never done this before. I have no idea what I'm doing, but do you need help? And of course, Ashley and Oscar, the lovely people that they are, took a chance on me. So I play with them during the week. And Kayla comes home on the weekends and she pulls a couple of shifts. She's kind of a jack of all trades. She's done everything, so she can do to-go, she can do wait staff, she can do hostess. I mean, she does everything but get back in the back and cook. Thank God, because that wouldn't be pretty. There we go. So they let her come home on the weekends and pick up a couple of shifts. That one's a little bit out of bounds. And that just gives her a little pocket money. Uh-oh, come on, be nice. So that she's not breaking into her savings. During the summer, she works and works and works and works, along with taking classes. And then kind of drops down to part-time during the year. So we get to see her on the weekends. Which is nice. Because I don't think I'm quite ready to be an empty nester yet. I joke with her as soon as she's finished with school, I'm going to quit work again. I'm not sure what I'll do. I like having time to scrapbook. I like having time to travel with my husband. But I also like having something to do during the day. So, time will tell. I do the typical grumble in the mornings. Oh, I wish I didn't have to work. I want to go back to bed. But then once I'm there, everything is fine again. It's just the typical, I don't want to wake up. There we go. This is the last one. Again, if I'm going too fast, let me know in the comments and I'll try and slow down. I forget that you're following along with me. Or I hope you're following along with me. Okay, we're going to bring these back into frame. These, I'm going to get a little bit of tacky finger. The tacky finger doesn't hurt the paper, it just keeps me from licking my fingers. Makes it to where I can pick up the paper easier. Okay, so we're going to put some adhesive here. And it butts up to the bottom of the ribbon. And then to the top. Okay, so we're going to scooch over. We're going to leave that alone for just a second. I'm going to finish adhering all of these and then we'll do the embellishments. Okay, we're going to do this side. Oopsie, don't drop it. Hey, the kids finished playing basketball. I don't know if you can see what's on my left that I'm going to use instead of little ribbon bows. It struck me. And I thought, okay, we're going to change it up and add a little whimsy. So if I'm doing something and I'm doing a design and you're like, hey, I don't want that heart there, or I don't want that sparkle there, or I think in my stash I have something different that'll work. Pause the video, go dig in your stash, find what you like for this card. Once you've got the bones of it down, once you've got the general architecture down, you can do anything you want with them. I just happened to be thinking while I was cutting out the hearts and went, hey, wait a minute. I've got something that would work perfectly for these. And I went and dug in my little stash and found them. There we go. In the last video that we did with the cards, I assembled one card and then went off camera and finished the other two cards. So I need you to let me know, do you like me just assembling one card and then moving on? Do you like me assembling all of the cards on camera so you can see? Are you just fast forwarding through this part? Let me know how you like your videos to go, and I can see if I can accommodate. Are you a little bit more advanced scrapper? Am I being too slow for you? Are you a new scrapper and I'm being too fast for you? Let me know. and I can see what I can do to customize it so you're getting the most out of your workshop. Okay, so what we're going to need is we're going to need the white gems, and then I found these are from the Georgie, which they're retired, they're not available anymore, but these are from the Georgie paper pack. I have extra because, again, I teach so much that I had some extras. So I'm going to use the little elephants, and I'm going to use the bows. I'm not going to use the yellow because that is going to be the wrong color. But this green is just a little bit deeper than the sea glass, so I think it'll work. And then this is Whisper. So what we're going to do is, again, I use my X-Acto knife. Please be careful using your X-Acto knife if you use it this way. They want the little bow, or they want the little dot here. I think I'm going to put it right here because my elephant is a little bit bigger. Actually, hold on. Can I get him down? With just my fingers. There he is. That's gonna, if you're mailing these cards, that's gonna be bumpy. It's gonna be an item that has to be hand metered, so it's gonna cost more to put it through the mail. When I do items that are bumpier in my cards, when I stick them in the envelope, I find the bumpy part and I just put some tape over that bumpy part just to kind of help reinforce the envelope. Because you would hate to do all this work and then have the envelope destroyed, and therefore the card inside gets destroyed. So I always just reinforce it with a little tape over the envelope. And it will be extra postage if you're mailing these because of the bumpiness and they have to hand meter. Oh, I just used all, okay. That works. I guess my brain wanted gray. So we'll stick with that motif. I was going to do the green, but I guess my brain said no. Okay, one more. I'm going to use the big bow. I want the big bow. I'm going to offset it just a wee. Okay. I'm going to put the lid back on my X-Acto knife. So these are the cards that we just did. Well, I was going to clear the decks, and then I remembered I have something to show you. On the last video, I said that I make inserts for the inside. This insert is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4, and I just took the stars, these little stars right there, and the sea glass ink, and I just stamped it on the inside. And it just goes right inside. And I did the same thing with the envelope. So it makes it a little bit more professional looking, a little bit more complete. And I did that for each of these cards. So, okay, now I'm going to stop the camera, clear the decks, and get ready for the next card. Okay, I'm back. I cleared the decks, pulled out the next card kit, and we are just about ready to start stamping. I'm going to be using the sea glass ink. I pulled off the cloud from this carrier sheet. Okay. So ink my cloud. Make sure that I'm on my phone. We're just going to stamp the cloud up in the left-hand corner. This card has quite a few elements to stamping, so it's going to take us a little bit to stamp it out. And this is where assembly stamping comes in very well. Well, I like the way that one came out. It had some texture to it. Not sure how I did that, but okay. Okay, so there's the clouds. I'm going to close the ink so I don't get stamp pad cleaner in it. The next stamp we're going to need is the lines again. The bane of my existence. Let's see if I can get them to work this time properly. Whisper ink. Stamp pad got stuck on my... Really? Okay. The scissors will stick to the stamp pad. That was funny. Okay. So whisper ink. We need one set of lines there. There. Holy crap, that's not gonna look good. And the star. Okay. I'm gonna try. I'm not sure I like these lines. There we go. So we're gonna use the congrats stamp. If you hear banging around, my daughter's in the next room packing to go back to school. She brought all of her canvases home. Okay. I'm going to see if I can... Oh, I was supposed to use the shorter. Alright, let's think of something here. Hold on. What star goes there? That star? Okay. Let's do the star first. And then stamp over the star. That will work. There's two different sizes. Actually, there's 3 different sizes. I used this guy, and you were supposed to use this guy. So, but that's okay. Again, there's no scrapbooking police. No one's gonna come to your house and knock on your door and say, hey, you didn't do that right. And, you know, if I screw it totally up, I can just recut this paper and try again. It's just paper. So if I just totally screw up the stamping altogether, just recut that sheet of paper and try it again. That's the beauty of paper. Okay, let's try this again. Whisper ink. Yeah, but I might be recutting these. I'm not sure I like the way this is coming out. Or, is there, nope, it went through on the other side. I don't like the way that looks. Yeah, I'm going to totally recut these. I just had an idea in my brain. So let me recut these. And I'll be right back. Hello. While I was editing this video, I found a boo-boo. I found that I was missing the part of the video where I stopped it and said, I don't like the way this looks, I'm going to recut this piece and I'll be right back. The video showing all the stamping disappeared. I'm not sure if I had the camera off or if I accidentally deleted it, but I'm going to just refilm this and show you the stamping portion of it and then continue on with the other video. So we're going to start off with the cloud. We're going to dip it in the sea glass ink. We're going to put it right up here. And because I'm only doing one image or one card set to show you what we did, I'm going to clean these as we go. I'm going to close this one. I'm going to pull open my Whisper ink. I'm going to get this one right here. I'll pull that one off. Put it on the block as best I can. Oh, you're crooked. I don't like that. These itty bitty lines, if you don't get them on straight, they stay crooked. Ink it up. Then we're going to get the teeny weeny little line. Remember on the original stamping, I stamped the line completely down and it did not leave room for the congrats. And I didn't like the way that looked. So that's why I decided to scrap that one. Literally scrap it. I threw them away. And start again. So that's what we're doing here. So now we're going to take the stars. So we want the stripedy star. This one. Well, I guess I could take my finger off it. It's going to be in sorbet. Then we're going to take the little one. Where's the little, there it is. And do it in sorbet. Okay, this is where gotta close you up. Go back to the Whisper. Change blocks, because now I want the congrats. I'm going to use my grid mat to make sure it's straight. See, this is one of my 11-year-old blocks. It is just scuffed up and scarred up, but I love it. It's one of my favorite sizes. You know how you just like the feel of some things? This block has a good feel to it. And you can definitely tell I love it from the way it looks. Okay, on your, so now we need the on your, and remember, in the example, it has congratulations on your baby, and then it says girl or boy. I am leaving these more generic. Because I don't know, yeah, the on your is going to be in Whisper. I don't know who's getting the card. I don't know if they're having a boy. I don't know if they're having a girl. So I'm going to leave it generic. And I'm going to make baby in sorbet. Okay, that concludes the stamping portion of this game. And the other items that I did after I just stuck my hand in the ink is, set this aside. Okay, I've got these 4 little ribbons cut. It doesn't really matter what size they are, it just matters that they are diagonal. And what I'm going to do is flip this completely over. Kind of crissy-cross them. Like that. And I'm just going to take a piece of plain tape and put on the back. So when you turn it over, it looks like that. And no one's going to see the plain tape, it just kind of helps hold the ribbon down. So when you're done, it's going to look like that. And then I'm going to take some bitty sparkles. I love bitty sparkles. I use them in almost everything. Okay, craft knife, please be careful. But the craft knife is the best way to put on the bitty sparkles. Just going to very carefully stick just the very tip on the end of the bitty sparkle. So that's just the wee little tip. And I'm just going to kind of make like little raindrops. I'm not putting my finger on the blade. I'm putting my finger on the bitty. Okay, set that there for a second. Get my enamel dots out. These are the dots that came with the kit. Get one of the teeny weenies. I'm going to stick it right there. Okay, so that's the part of it that we were missing, is what it looks like. Okay, that didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. So now we're going to start with the assembly. So we're just going to take the gray sheet that we cut out, put some adhesive on the back. Now if I'm doing this alone by myself, I go through and I put adhesive on all the pieces at one time. And it just makes putting this together a lot easier. There's that. And then this piece goes over the top. Like that. And then this piece goes over that, like that. So you've just got the little ribbons poking out the back. See how the assembly is like nothing at all? Except when the card decides to go crooked. And it actually calls for foam tape. I'm not using foam tape on this one. You can actually put foam tape behind this and raise it up. I'm trying to keep it to where it's not quite so bumpy for postage. Because you do know the post office now, if it's slightly off, you know, off size or slightly bumpy, they jack up the postage. So I'm trying to get it to where it's not quite as bad. To send these cards through the mail. Oopsie. I guess while the camera was off, I should have gotten the sparkles that I was thinking about. I'll grab those real fast in a minute. See, I mean, look how fast these are going together once we're done with the stamping. On this particular set of cards, the stamping is what took the longest. The cutting didn't take any time at all. Even the recutting that I did didn't take any... Right, look here. Lay flat. Even the recutting that I did didn't take any time at all. That was less than a minute to recut that one sheet. Get all these assembled, and then I'll show you my little idea that I had. That I need to go get the sparkles out of my bin. Again, if you go through and you put the adhesive on first, this part is lickety-splickety. It doesn't take any time at all to do. I'm just slowing down because you guys need to see what I'm doing. When I'm crafting, I generally have a book on my iPod going. A cup of coffee or, oopsie, a nice beverage. My beverages of choice are sweet tea or coffee. Oh, that was the problem. Huh, okay. I looked over and I was like, why won't it lay down? Because it was 2 cards. Every now and then if I'm with a girlfriend, I'll have a glass of wine. But then my crafting gets a little weird. Several years ago, I had some dental surgery done. And I was off work because obviously I couldn't go to work with anesthesia on board. You have to stay out of work for 24 hours if you've had anesthesia. And I woke up at like 3 in the morning. I was like, I feel great. I'm going to go scrapbook. This is prime scrapbooking time. And I'm in here just, I'm throwing sparkles everywhere and glitter and paint. I was painting up a storm on stuff. I was having a grand time at 3 in the morning by myself. 2 in the morning, whatever time it was. Set it aside to dry because of all the wet items on it. Woke up the next morning and I was looking at it and I was like, what happened in here? What did I do? I kept them in my album just in case, but I had a little hidden note on the layout later that these layouts were, it was Shamu layouts. So I was painting water and adding sparkle and, you know, shimmer glitter and prismatic glitter, which is kind of like Tinkerbell dust. That stuff gets everywhere, but I love using it. But I put a disclaimer in on that layout that I created it under anesthesia. And it makes people giggle every time they see it. But did it make me happy while I was doing it? Yes. Did it look like, I couldn't figure out what direction I was going? Oh, yes. So it definitely was not one of my best layouts. But I left it in there because it definitely makes me giggle. In fact, I'm surprised I didn't wake up the family when I was creating it. My scrap room is directly next to my daughter's bedroom. And remember when we used to have eyelets and we would put eyelets on everything? If it didn't have an eyelet on it, it wasn't complete. Well, you had to have a hammer to get those eyelets in. And I was in here, I didn't have my desk yet, my built-in desk. I had a quilting table that my neighbor sold me when she was moving to Hawaii. And I thought, oh, it's huge, it's perfect, it'll be a great scrapbooking table. Well, little did I know that it wasn't well made. And every time you hit, it would vibrate and jiggle and make the most god-awful noise. So not only was I hitting eyelets with a hammer, but this table, it sounded like the second coming. And my daughter woke up one night and she was like, no. And I think she was like second, third grade. No, we don't do eyelets in the middle of the night. Some of us are trying to sleep. So I was banned from using eyelets from that day forward at night. And then once we found the Cricut, oh my goodness. Again, I would be scrapbooking in the middle of the night. And the original Cricut, I still have it. But it is not the quietest machine ever created. So, again, at this point, my middle school age child wakes up in the middle of the night looking like a hacked off Tinkerbell, her hair standing straight up. She's not having a good night. Nope. We do not use a Cricut in the middle of the night. So, while my family generally supports my madness and my hobby, there's times when I'm not allowed to play. Particularly if it's noisy. They prefer me being in my room, listening to a book, working on something quiet. Okay, so this is the last one that we're nailing down. And I will be right back. I'm going to grab my sparkle bucket, and I'll be right back. Okay. So if you watched the scrap room tour, you saw that I have a little scrap bucket, or a little sparkle bucket. I have a bit of a problem with sparkles. I like them. Yeah, is this the ones that I want? That's the ones that I want. Okay. These are bitty sparkles. So what we're going to do, and it's these sparkles that caused me to learn how to use my X-Acto knife. Because they were so tiny, you just can't pick them up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these white ones, and we're going to put it next to baby. And then we're going to take one of these itty sparkles, or bitty sparkles, and we're just going to sprinkle them in the cloud. Just like that. I'm going to set that aside for a second. So just like that. Not overly, not, you know, just a little touch. So we're going to take the white one that comes with the kit and put it over by baby and just add a few little sparkles. You can do, if you've got the bitty pearls, that would be cute. If you have sea glass, something that kind of matches the sea glass, that would be cute. You can also, if you have the marker, the alcohol marker, you can also color these. You just, so you could actually color them sea glass. Oopsie. Where it's just a little sea glass sparkly. I don't have alcohol markers. I bought, I think, 3 sets when you know, each time Close to My Heart would come out with a new alcohol marker set, I would buy it. And, oops. See, this is where my X-Acto knife comes in handy. Come on. See, I was just able to pick that up, roll it back over. I just found that I wasn't a huge marker user. I would buy them and I wouldn't really use them, and then they would dry out, and then I would get irritated that I wasted the money because they dried out. So the rare times that I actually need a marker, and it is rare, I beg my daughter to let me use her Copics. And then she watches me and makes sure that I don't, quote unquote, abuse them, because her art supplies are like my scrapbooking supplies. They're our babies, and we want to make sure they get taken care of, because, you know, this is money. This stuff is expensive to a point. Okay. So there we go. The other item that I did is I did the same thing as with the other cards, and I made liners. So I've got matching cards and matching envelopes. And again, it's just the 5 1/4 by 3 3/4 liner that I did the C-glass stars, and the matching envelope. So, oh, I've already put the other cards away. I'm so sorry. I think we killed it. I think we finished the workshop together. So, this makes me quite happy. Quite happy at all. And until then, I think this is a wrap. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.